Welcome back to my channel. It's not new to say that God is the greatest mathematician. Look at the creation of the universe. God loves numbers and he speaks to us through numbers. Yes, there are other ways God speaks to us, but he also speaks to us through numbers. What do I mean by numbers? It's a strange repetition of certain numbers that you see over and over, and it's just all of a sudden, it's consistent, it won't stop. Where can you see all these numbers? It could be from your bank cards. You could have two different bank cards having the same numbers. From clock, you go shopping, change from your shopping, you could just see them everywhere randomly throughout your day. When I first started seeing these repeated numbers, I was very, very confused. It's not something I've never heard about it, and I didn't know it. But like I said, it's consistent. It will get your attention, and you will have to check, what is this about? And I've done extensive research on it. So I'm going to share my biblical understanding of this repeated numbers. Most importantly, when you start seeing these repeated numbers, it's important to go back to God, because he's trying to get your attention really and know what exactly is he trying to say. The first repeated number I started saying was 1111. And 1111 is a wake-up call. It's a spiritual awakening call. And I'm not surprised I started saying 1111 first, because I want to say when I started saying 1111, I had that full connection with God. I go to church, I pray when I want to pray, I read my Bible when I feel like reading my Bible. So 1111 is calling me to wake up, have a new sense, have a fresh sense, a sense of identity with God. Isaiah 11:11, it said, in that day, the Lord will reach out his hand a second time to reclaim the surviving remnant of his people. God is reaching out to his remnant. He's reaching out to me that you need to reconnect back to him. 11:11 is about alignment, a revival. God is bringing life to the dead things and places in your life. God is asking for fresh connection, a relationship with him. That's just 11:11 is about. It's about awakening, a wake-up call to reconnect back to him. The beautiful thing about spiritual awakening is when your heart starts to awake, you feel connected to your intuition, to God. You're much happier. You feel unconditional love for yourself and for others. You even discover gifts and talents you never knew you had that is probably been hidden in your subconsciousness. For example, for me, is communication skill. I hate to even be in front of the camera. It's a beautiful thing, spiritual awakening. So after stop saying 1111, I thought that was it. Then, like I said, it doesn't stop. The next one I started saying consistently was 911, 911. Everywhere I go, 911. It will get your attention when you start saying these numbers. And 911 is talking about angelic protection. Psalm 91 verses 11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guide you in all your ways. God has sent his angelic hosts around to surround you and the assignment he has given to you. So he's asking you not to fear. I really like this 911 because in as much as God was sending me these numbers, it was also showing me through dreams that you are surrounded by angels. Do not worry. Do not fear about your assignments. 911 is also talking about restoration. Amos 9 verses 11. It said, in that day, I will restore the fallen house of David. I will repair its damaged walls. From the ruins, I will rebuild it and restore it to its former glory. 911 is talking about God's restoration, rebuilding of God's initial design. So 911 is about angelic protection and restoration. As I said, once you start to notice these numbers, they don't stop. It's everywhere. They start coming consistently, all of a sudden, over and over again. I love 222 because 222 is about open doors, double doors. Isaiah 22 verses 22. I will place on his shoulder the key to the house of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what is shut, no one can open. Man cannot stop what God has decreed over your life. 222 is talking about open doors, doors of favor, authority to decree God's purpose over your life. It doesn't stop, as I said. 333 is talking about fresh revelation and divine strategy out of heaven is being released on you. Jeremiah 33 verses 3, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things that you do not know. The beautiful thing about all these numbers is the whole saying, call to me, like come back to God. He's all calling you for urgency to pray and go back to Him, reconnect to Him, then He can start showing you all of these things. The 333 is about fresh revelation, but you need to call to me and I will answer you and tell you the great and unsearchable things that you do not know. It's a call to intercession. As hidden revelation is available to be received. That's 333. 444 is just about higher, fresh perspective, and increase of vision, breakthrough, and season of victory. I love it. Psalm 44 verse 4. You are my King and my God, who decrees victory for me. For Jacob, I might say for me, God decrees victory for me. 444 is about higher, fresh perspective, and increase of vision. It wants you to build an intimacy with God. And as you come higher, you see the door being open to you. And then 555 is about His abundance of grace on you. So expect to see God's grace upon that purpose He has given to you. Yes, 911 says that even it is angelic, and you're surrounded by angels on your purpose, do not fear. 555 is saying, I've given you the grace on that purpose. Expect His grace on you, with you, and around you. Isaiah 55 verses 5, it says, surely you will summon nations you know not, and nations you do not know will come running to you because of the Lord your God, God the only one of Israel, for He has endowed you with splendor. 545 is talking about God's abundance grace on your life. 10. Order is about completion of order, fullness of a season. John 10 verses 10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the fullest. It's about order, completion of order, fullness of a season. Where the enemy has brought destruction, God is releasing life and speaking fullness of life. There are quite a few more, but most importantly, when saying repeated numbers, it's encouraging you to take notes of what you are doing or you've been talking about at that time and the season you're in, and then ask God yourself what exactly He's trying to say to you. It's asking for you to seek His face. It's calling you to be committed to follow your sole purpose in life. I hope you've enjoyed this video. My next video is going to be on relationships and how I manage better. So don't forget to click on the subscribe button if you haven't to get notified of my next video.